Welcome, everyone, to your weekly World Energy session. We're at New Year's Eve 2024, and we're going into 2025 tonight. How exciting! So, to make it really exciting, of course, our little group got together. I pulled a tarot card. The tarot card is regret and repression. We had a little talk about some of those things, and what ended up unfolding was um, our mistakes. So, the mistakes that we make in life, we tend to grip and hold on to them. So, as I say that, just take a nice deep breath and notice where you're gripping. I feel like my liver and my spleen are gripping this area. So, the liver is going to be this consciousness of, oh, when I organize something in the future, I better get it all right. And then the spleen goes, I can't let go of the mistakes because if I let go, I may make a mistake again. So here we're looking at opening up the lungs and the diaphragm and massaging those internal organs with our breath, but also getting that liver and spleen to go, you know what? We're going to make mistakes. So I often think about how many mistakes do I make in a day? I don't know, hundreds probably. I put the laundry on and I forgot to press the button. I was doing some calculating and I made a mistake and I had to fix it. I wrote something and it looked funny, so I had to erase it. I was going to get something, went to the other room, came back. Was it I wanted to get? I can't remember. It's just constant, and we can't kind of sit around and live with every little one of those mistakes. But I can start to see how many mistakes I make in a day, and it kind of gets me a little bit more and more used to making mistakes. Like one of the big things that is really really good is to become more and more resilient is to really acknowledge and say, hey, these are all the mistakes I make. And you realize you become, more and more responsible for, oh, yeah, sure, that's my mistake. That's my mistake. We become more and more resilient to the mistakes. Then we can go and experience life as a beautiful adventure rather than I'm constantly trying to push my mistakes to the side, make sure I don't do them again. And we narrow and narrow that passageway. So somebody brought up unpredictability. And I think this really applies to let my life be more and more predictable. Right. So part of us goes, oh, I want to have a wonderful adventure. I'd like to travel around the world. I'd like to, I don't know, write a book. I have a friend back there. I don't know if you could see this book. Um, One of my friends, she just said, wrote this book, Living My Freaking Amazing Life, Regina Huber. That's a shout out to Regina. Um, I mean, she took that plunge in her life and many plunges in her life, and I'm sure she's going to tell me about all the mistakes in there and all of the wonderful things that happen. And I was just reading the first few pages because I just received it, and I thought, yeah, there's going to be so many exciting things in here and so many things that are going to be shocking. And one of the things she mentions is that she was held at gunpoint in Brazil, right? That's pretty common thing to have happen in Brazil, but it's darn scary, right? So we're never going to escape those difficulties. And one of the reasons we don't try to have the adventure is, what if something bad happens? Well, something bad can happen while you're living your life the way you are. So what we want to do is get the liver to organize with the idea that we can make mistakes, but also to have that awareness that we are making mistakes. So let's say this has happened so many times. People have come to me and said, I'd really like to go back to school. I'll never forget this gal. She wanted to go back to school. She was only I think she was 30 going on 39, going to 40. And I said, well, go back to school. The cards show this is great. It's a good thing for you to do. Go back to school. I'm too old. And I said, my God, you're not too old. Go back to school. And even if you do one course a semester, or, you'll be graduated by the time you're 48. She returns when she's 48. She said, I should have listened to you. I should have gone back to school. Now it's too late. I said, yeah, but you're only 48. Like, that's it. Like, you're so young. Go back to school. Do one course at a time. By the time you're 55, you're going to have a degree. You'll be out there. Another 10 years pass or 7 years pass. She comes back. She says, you were right. I should have listened to you. I was still young. I could have gotten a degree. And I thought, you're not going to tell me you're not going back to school. She said, no, I'm not going to go back to school. I wish I could, but now I'm really too old. You are not too old. Now, I have no idea what happened to her, but, I look at my age now. In 5 years, I'll be 70. So, I think, oh, should I go back to school? What else should I do? What other things can I do in my life? And I think of her and I go, I hope she's gone back to school. So, no, you cannot regret what you haven't done. You've got to look at I'd like to do this. Just start doing it, no matter how slow it is. And it doesn't matter if you finish, because the mistake is not doing it. That's really the only mistake. Another way I've always looked at things is, some people have told me it's too scary for me to try something new. And I go, yeah, it's pretty scary, but isn't it scarier to stay in the same thing that you're in for the rest of your life? I mean, that's a complete and utter betrayal. So we just want, when you're breathing this session in, and we're just going to help it move, it's going to only work with what you're capable of. It's not going to, wake you up and you're going to turn around tomorrow morning and start, transforming your entire life. It could. That depends on where you're at. So we're going to remember, this is your life. This is where you're at. And we're going to start to feel into that liver, the viscera, because there's a lot. Remember, everything is consciousness. The body is all consciousness, right? So you also have your blueprint for health. So you have your blueprint for health. You also have your destiny. All of these things are working at the same time. I mean, what is the point to everything that doesn't work out for us? Yeah, I could give you some new age airy fairy stuff and tell you, well, you're going to learn a lesson. It's an experience for growth. I kind of look at it as a nice, boom, slap across the face that says, wake the heck up. Just wake up. So it's going to depend on how big a slap you want. And I don't mean that it's always going to be painful. Sometimes that slap is, oh my God, this is great. I'm filled with joy. I got out of my sadness. I got out of my grumpiness and I woke up. Sometimes we need a little bit of a push. Sometimes, but it depends on your destiny. You might not get a push. You might just get the one I hate the most. If you have something shocking happen, okay, then you deal with it. It's like having an accident. You go into emergency, they take care of it. Like I had my appendix burst quite a few years ago, went into surgery, it's repaired, done. I have no trauma from that. When I had my hips replaced, you go in, it's done. There's no trauma from that. But the years of struggling with the inability to walk, there's trauma in that. And that's the part I hate the most. Like, I don't want to be in a job that I hate that grinds along. I don't want to keep thinking the same way and it grinds along. I feel like that is one of the biggest mistakes I could make out of fear of trying something different. So if this is something you feel, or it's going to happen anyway, I'm going into the kidney area and the bladder, and we want that meridian to move so that you want to have fear that is natural to your body, that is going to move that fear when there's something dangerous. Our problem as humans is we feel like we're in danger if we make a mistake. That's crazy. That's just crazy. Don't you think like it's insane if I make a mistake, if I misspeak, uh if I'm late for work, if I, didn't I mean all these little mistakes. So if I marry someone and I get divorced, or if I we could make some serious mistakes, but we did them. Whatever those mistakes are, we did them. Maybe we married the wrong person. Maybe we chose the wrong job. Okay. So what are you doing now? And if you say you're trapped, if you say you can't get out, if you say there's no way out, this is for you. This is where you're repressing your potential. Where's your potential? We're going to go second chakra. So everyone, just hold your second chakra and breathe, and let's get our potential to move for this beautiful move into 2025. And we're going to move those mistakes. We're going to use those mistakes as practice runs for resilience. The more I know how many mistakes I've made so many mistakes in my life, so many. I keep making them. Start to be resilient. I don't mean just haphazardly, I'm going to go out with the intention of making mistakes. No, they're going to naturally occur. So the idea that there's the unpredictable, in the unpredictable, you have no idea when those mistakes are going to occur. They may be guiding you somewhere. They're guiding you to your destiny. And if your destiny is to wake up one morning and go, I regret my entire life, everything I've done, why. Hopefully, this is your wake up day. This is your wake up day to go, oh, yeah, okay, sure. I made all those mistakes. Next, when's the next thing? What's the next thing I'm about to accomplish? That's going to be the organizational process of your liver. It's going to be the gallbladder. And for those of you who don't have a gallbladder, just hold the area of your liver, and we're going to stimulate that area to have the matrix of your gallbladder. For those of you who find it's difficult to make decisions, you're having a hard time. If you can't catalyze yourself into action when necessary, then hold your liver, the liver area, so you're captivating the gallbladder. And we're going to get that gallbladder to remember its function. It's a catalyzer. It breaks fat down. It can also break down our fatty thoughts, our fatty ideas about life, our fatty ideas about mistakes. My goodness, the weather doesn't wake up in the morning and say, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have rained on Terry Ann. It doesn't wake up and go, well, she doesn't like ice and snow. My mistake. No, it just goes, I'm going to keep raining, and I'm going to keep snowing, and I'm going to keep lowering the temperature till it's so icy out you can't leave your house. Mother Nature does not care. Breathe. So remember, let your gallbladder catalyze you in whatever direction you need to go in, and allow yourself to open up to the adventure of life. Whoa, I can feel the whole belly area just doing something. Yeah, okay. So I guess I'm missing some adventure too. I can feel that the gallbladder, the liver, everything just moving around. Yeah, what's the next adventure? I don't know. But the new year, we're in the new moon to the full moon. There's this, we can attract all of that opportunity, time for opportunity. But remember, in the Northern Hemisphere, it is winter. So we can hibernate and allow those opportunities to come to us. We don't have to activate. We got a couple of months before that gallbladder really goes into action in the spring. And in the Southern Hemisphere, it'll be harvest time. So summer is like quieter. You probably get some creative ideas coming up because it's fire time, but you can let them stew and brew till you can harvest them in the spring. That's the Southern Hemisphere. Sorry, in the fall in the Southern Hemisphere. Northern Hemisphere, we're hibernating, we're closing in. So all that, all those ideas, all that sense of creativity can slowly mull itself within us. And then in the spring, we open up. Along with, again, we've got these moon cycles, we've got the new year coming in. So, blessings to all of you for 2025. I hope you get all the opportunities. I hope you're able to embrace errors, mistakes, embrace them. They made you who you are today, and you could just let them go. We want that liver to help let it go. So let's let the last part, memories, leave the system of those mistakes that really, really pressure you. Breathe. Oh, I can feel the brain just opening up. You can even rotate your eyes so you get all that energy moving around, looking for, let your eyes, the connection, look for those areas. Where are those mistakes? You don't have to see them. You just kind of go, let me find those mistakes and let them move. I want those mistakes to just be a slight memory, not a pressure. And let's tap and tap all of your head. A nice deep breath, inhale, exhale, and let go. And let's start the letting go till midnight tonight. Well, for us, it's a little further away in Eastern Canada, but the rest of the world, you'll all have some people they're already going through the new year and in the East. So happy New Year, everyone. All the best to you. Bye.